Hello everyone, this is Dylan, and welcome to sort of a review of a cartridge of Pokemon Ruby that I just got off eBay. I lucked out on this one. I knew as soon as I opened it up and saw 260 Pokemon on the decks, like, okay, this person clearly played the game a lot, but I have taken a little sneak peek, and there's definitely a lot to look forward to within this cartridge, and I think it's going to be fun to just go in and explore someone else's adventure, someone else that grew up with this games. And yeah, it's just going to be really fascinating because I can tell that they've traded with quite a few people, which means, okay, they probably also exchange records, which would mean that we're going to get to go on a little scavenger hunt and find, hopefully, all of their friends' secret bases scattered around the world, and it's just going to be a really good time. So, glad you could hop in here, but yeah, let's just hop right into it. Of course, it did have a dried battery, but nothing that a soldering iron and a few extras can't fix, so I'm definitely going to be working on getting that up to speed. But yeah, I am running this in emulator right now. Of course, I'm not going to be, I plan on eventually using this for shiny hunting, so I'm not going to be, doing any of that with an emulator. I'm currently working on getting a setup in order to record gameplay for potential streams, for potential new videos, and I do want to say, just briefly right before getting into this, thank you all so much for the support lately. Still growing really fast, and it's kind of crazy that, my videos from a few months ago just now starting to pick up traction. Pretty good timing since I just, got off my job, and now I hopefully will have a lot of time to pour into YouTube and Twitch and the like. Still need to figure out where I'm going to stream, but yeah, so that's kind of why I bought this cartridge, just so I could do more hunts and just bring more content to you all. So yeah, with that out of the way, looks like we have Sarah as the original trainer, 338 hours poured into this game, 240 decks, and of course all of the badges. I would hope that they would have beaten the game if they've played it for that long. But yeah, let's just hop right into it. It looks like they were using the little berry mini game where you make Pokeblocks, so that's pretty cool. Of course, the first thing I'm gonna do is check the party. Yeah, that is yeah, that's a lot of not Ruby Pokemon. So this immediately tells us, okay, they've done some trading. We have a Dragonair from Barbara. We have, of course, here's her starter, level 70. We have a Charizard from Kylie, interestingly enough. So already we can see, okay, that's two people they've traded with. We have an Espeon from Sarah. I would imagine, yep, okay, this was bred in Route 110, of course. Aridos from Kylie and the Meganium from Kylie. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff right off the bat. Of course, time to check the PC. There's probably going to be a lot more to look forward to in there. Well, I know there is because I've already, taken a peek, and you've probably already seen the thumbnail, so you can kind of guess what we're in for. So just taking a quick look, we can see the boxes are organized by type. So yeah, let's just go ahead and hop in. Butterfree, pretty standard. Masquerain, just looking out for any new original trainers as I go. We got a Venusaur, a Roselia, of course, Dustox, Cacturne, Ninjask, Tangela, ooh, and Luxury Ball as well. Those are very difficult to get in Fire Red Leaf Green. Weepinbell, Shiftry, Tropius, Vileplume, Heracross, Jumpluff, and yeah, that's pretty much it for their grass and bug types. Did not mean to close out just now. I guess we'll go right first. So the normals, yeah, pretty normal, obviously. Nothing too amazing, just taking a quick look. We got a Eradicate here. So it looks like they did trade with an Emerald profile, because they have a Ditto right here, or Fire Red and Leaf Green. I believe Kylie, yeah, so this probably was from Fire Red and Leaf Green. I am interested to see, I sort of took a quick look. I'm interested to see if they have any legitimate event Pokemon, because I think that would be the coolest thing we could find. If they played this game, like, way back in the day, when they had, like, the in-person distributions, then having, like, a legitimate copy of, like, a Deoxys or something like that would just be, like, absolutely amazing. Like, really couldn't be much better than that. But, yeah. Very Dodrio. That's pretty much it for the normal types. Just moving on. Electric's pretty standard. Minun, Plusle, Jolteon, Pichu, Striker the Raichu, Magneton, Electrode, and yeah. Moving on to the next. Of course, here's the ever sought after Rayquaza. Unfortunately, in these games, you can't get it right before the Victory Road and Elite Four. I do remember playing as a kid, my starter would be the only thing I would level. I would go up, I'd Master Ball the Rayquaza, and I'd pretty much just sweep the entire E4 and Emerald. That game was still very difficult though, especially compared to these. They really stepped everything up. Ruby and Sapphire, like, playing it for the first time after playing Emerald, it was like, man, some of these gym leaders are just like a pushover, especially Tate and Liza, because they only have the Solrock and Lunatone. But yeah, I'm kind of getting off topic. Pidgeot, Yanma, it's got a Swellow. Here we go. Master Balled Lugia, really interesting. But as you can see, met on Route 115, also at only level 28. This is definitely hacked, and this is probably the first Pokemon of many that we're going to see with this original trainer Ash, and pretty much everything, because I did take a quick look, that this person traded to them was cheated. So here's our first cheated Pokemon of the run, but you know what, it's alright, I'll just leave it in there, it's not really hurting anything, just chilling in the box. We got a Skarmory, Aerodactyl. Someone with a Fire Red game traded them a lot of good Pokemon. I wonder if they had a friend that, like, sort of just got out of playing or whatever, but yeah, ooh, and they had a Flygon. Very, very good choice. I never really expected growing up for Flygon to, like, evolve from a Trapinch, so I never would have thought to even do that. But growing up, I also only leveled my starters, so I never got to see any of these cool Pokemon back when I played, as a kid at least. We have an Articuno, so once again, Barbara being very generous. We have a Fearow, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just so I can keep track of it, I'm going to drag all the cheated Pokemon to the bottom of the box, just so I know for the future. Then we got the rock fighting types next. We have an Aggron, have a Hariyama, a Medicham, a Primate, an Onix, and a Graveler. Nothing too special there. Moving on to the next box, we see, ooh, there's an Entei. Now, this could be from Shadow / or I think can you get it in Pokemon XD? I'm not sure. This could be the Shadow one from Coliseum is what I was saying though, and it could be also from Fire Red and Leaf Green, so let's just check, and yep, met level 48 at Sky Pillar. This is definitely cheated, and it's another Pokemon from the original trainer Ash. I will be really interested to see their secret base team, if they have one, because if they were using an action replay, then they're probably gonna have a pretty crazy team, so it's gonna be actually really probably difficult to fight them if they have all these insane Pokemon that they were willing to trade over. We have a Torkoal next. We have a Combuskin that they hatched from an egg, so they didn't fully get it up to the Blaziken, but they were definitely doing some breeding, which in these games, there was actually no Flame Body or Magma Armor, yet they added that in Emerald, so hatching eggs in Ruby and Sapphire is brutal. I truly commend this person, because I would not have the patience for that. We have a Houndoom. We have, ooh, looks like they did have a Blaziken that they got traded to them from Kylie. Very generous friends this person has. We have a Ninetales, Typhlosion that they also obtained in a trade. We have a Flareon, we have a Vulpix, we have a Rapidash, we have a Cyndaquil that they got from an egg, we have a Magcargo, and yeah, one of the most interesting boxes thus far, just because they had a lot of cool traded Pokemon that, like, you know, playing this game, like, elementary school me would have absolutely flipped if I had access to any of these. Unfortunately, I didn't really have anyone with another Game Boy Advance, because I played this game, like, around the time that Black and White were right about to come out, so I was just kind of late to the party. The Game Boy Advance was really just my first system, so I just didn't really have the experience of being able to interact with a lot of people, so it is cool to go through the save file of someone who did, you know? Anyway, we have a Wailmer next. The water box is probably going to take a while. We have quite a few Pokemon here. We have a Tentacool, we have a Clamperl, we have a Pelipper, we have an Azumarill, we have a Corsola, we have a Luvdisc, very creatively named Love, we have a Relicanth, we have a Surskit, we have a Dugong, we have a Gyarados, we have a Blastoise, we have a Crawdaunt, we have a Lantern, we have a Vaporeon, Starmie, Milotic, ooh, level 11 Milotic, so they probably use the beauty method to actually get it into a Milotic. Yeah, like, stuff like that, I could just never really figure out how to do as a kid. I especially couldn't figure out how to get a, you know, like a Feebas, but they probably had at least better access to the internet than I did, or just a friend that knew all the deets. But yeah, moving on, we have Poliwhirl, we have a Whiscash, we have a Walrein, Feraligatr, so another Johto starter, we have an Octillery, Sharpedo, And yeah, that's it for the water and ice types. Moving on, we have stuff I guess they were planning on leveling up for the Pokedex. So we have an Anorith that they revived from the fossil, we have a Goldeen, we have a Whismur, we have a Horsey, Ghastly, Rhyhorn, Venonat, Spoink, Slowpoke, Gulpin, Krabby, Machop, Snorunt, Vigoroth, Chansey, Golbat, Swablu, Grimer, and yeah, just a bunch of generic Pokemon that they were probably, planning on doing for their decks. And they got pretty far, like I said, 240. That is way further than I have been. And back to the comment earlier about breeding, it does look like they had a specific box designated for it. And here it is. What do you know? It is a shiny Illumise. This was not traded from the trainer that definitely has hacked Pokemon in. From what I can tell, this does look like a legit shiny Illumise, because really nothing else in this save file indicates that this person hacked. Of course, they maybe used the action replay and put in a shiny code, but if they had done that, if they, had their friends do that, then why would they have only gotten one Pokemon, especially an Illumise, like, very obscure Pokemon to have as a shiny. It's caught on the correct route at the correct level. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is legit, which is pretty sick because I'll actually be able to use this thing as a sweet sensor for any hunts that I may do that may require that. I know underwater encounters can be very slow, so that's probably something I'm going to be considering using this for. Other people's shinies really haven't always seemed that special to me, unless it's from someone that I know and care about a lot. But yeah, I'm still pretty excited to use this thing in my hunts, and this is probably the most valuable and interesting thing on this save file. Yeah. And then moving on from that, there is an egg. I'm really interested to see what is in this, because whatever they were hatching, they didn't take the time to end up hatching this. It's found by the daycare couple, so it's not going to be the egg from Lava Ridge, where you get the Why Not guaranteed, or, this does look like a randomly generated egg. So I am pretty interested to see what is inside of this, and man, wouldn't it be something if this turned out to be a shiny, but I'm probably getting my hopes up by even suggesting that, so I'm going to go drop this Ariados back off in the grass bug box, and I'm going to make another space in my party too, for reasons I will explain shortly. But yeah, I'm going to probably drop the Espeon off, and let's just... Oh, that is the wrong box. See, I never organized my boxes like this. I don't know about you guys, but I just always thought this was like way too much effort. I just throw stuff in, and if something's like valuable enough to where I need to know where it is, then I'll put it somewhere that I, will know where it is. But yeah, moving on to the Psychic box next, we have a Metatite, we have a Chimecho, Trapinch in the Psychic box for some reason. I'm just gonna go ahead and move this over, because like I said, it just feel wrong to come into this person's save and mess up the way they ordered things. So I'm just gonna drop that back off and drag this Metang back over, and what do you know, it is the one from Mossdeep City. They did not fully get it to a Metagross, which is kind of disappointing, because Metagross is by far and above my favorite Pokemon. Probably the most ambitious shiny hunt that I have planned right now is a shiny Metagross from Pokemon Coliseum. Those resets take literally forever, so yeah, we'll see if that ever comes to fruition or not. We have a Hypno, we have a Celebi from Ash, caught at Meteor Falls. Once again, another hacked legendary in this save file. Kind of disappointing, because if this was a legit event Celebi, then man, that would be pretty amazing just to have one of, but hey, it is what it is. We have a Why Not, we have Girafarig, Wobbuffet, Unknown W, we have the Espeon I literally just dropped in there, we have a Solrock, Kadabra, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the Psychic types, and yep. Looks like the only thing we have left are the poisons. We have an Arbok, we have a Beedrill, we have a Nidorina, not much else though. And we have the contest ones. So I will have to check the stats of these. I'm actually not sure how to do that. I think you use the, what is it, the Pokenav to check like their contest stats. I never really did the contest much as a kid, and when I did not know what Pokeblocks were, how to make them, how to use them. So that is going to be something I'm gonna have to figure out, but I would assume that these are trained to do well in contests. We have a Skitty, we have a Lapras, we have a Marowak, I have an Azurill, and that's it for the contest box. Now moving on, we have the ground types. We have a Claydol from Skypillar, we have a Baltoy, we have a Sandslash, Donphan, Shelgon, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That is definitely not a ground type. I'm gonna grab this over. It looks like they were oh so close to getting that Salamence, but unfortunately it just did not work out. I'm actually not sure where to put this thing because, yeah, it doesn't look like they have a dragon box. This Flygon's also in the flying box, so I'm gonna go ahead and drag this over to the ground one. So I guess I'll just preemptively put the Shelgon in the, the flying box in the meantime, just sort of out of respect in a way, like, for, the fact I feel like I'm looking through someone else's stuff. I'm like reading someone else's diary right now, because each one of these Pokemon I can tell just has a story behind it, and it is really interesting just to go through this person's save and, try and piece together bit by bit what that story was. We have a Dusclops next, Duskull, Absol, Misdreavus, Umbreon, Mightyena, and yeah, that's it for the Ghost and Dark types, and we are right back where we started. So probably the next thing I'm going to do, definitely going to keep this egg in here, just sort of as I'm running around and like trying to figure out what's the deal is with this save. I'm just going to have that egg in there, and hopefully by the end of this video I'll have it to hatch. So here's their Pokedex. It looks like it is in alphabetical mode. The first thing that I checked when I came in was, okay, do they have the roamer caught or not? And wouldn't you know it, they have not caught the roaming Latios. And if you watch my channel, then you'll know why that is personally exciting to me, is that I can do the Battle Tower glitch, which I was the first person to successfully shiny hunt with, catching my shiny Swampert from another trainer at the Battle Tower. If you're interested in that, that's probably why you're here watching this video right now, but if you happen to get this recommended, then definitely check that out on my channel. I got a legitimate 6 IV shiny Swampert in Pokemon Sapphire, and I'm pretty excited now to do the Trainer Tower glitch, or Battle Tower glitch, on this save file on stream, hopefully as soon as I can get my recording setup worked out and figure out the logistics of where I'm planning on streaming and all of that jazz. Moving on, though, not too much else interesting is left in the decks to go over, just about what you would expect based on what they have in their boxes. So real quick, I'm gonna go and check their bag and see how they were looking in the items department. They have a lot of repels. They have the flutes. It looks like they used the glass dude on, I do not remember the glass blower, I believe, the one that shapes the ash into items for you on personally my favorite route in the game. I believe it's 113, the one with all the ash, and it's very calming just to go there and listen to the music and just kind of vibe out. But yeah, they had about what you'd expect as far as TMs go. I'd be willing to wager they've used a lot of the good ones already. That just kind of is always how it is with these old saves. Fortunately, Emerald has a very easy item duplication glitch, and Pokemon duplication glitch, of course, that goes along with it, so TMs are not going to be a problem. They had a lot of berries because, as we just saw, they were actually planning on using these for the Pokeblocks. So I'm going to open up the Pokeblock case, and wouldn't you know it, they have a lot of Pokeblocks here. A lot of gray ones, some purple ones, very interesting mixtures. I do wonder if there was any sort of strategy, if they figured out like which flavor correlates to the different contest stat, because I sure didn't as a kid, but this person clearly was way more into the contest than I ever was. And under key items, they don't really have any interesting event items that they would have gotten from, a distribution or anything like that, which is a little sad, but it is expected. There are probably so few game cartridges out there that people are willing to sell that they brought to somewhere like Mall of America to get the Deoxys, or even to get the Eon ticket, which required an e-reader card, which not a lot of people had over here in the States. But yeah, probably the next thing I'm going to check is the match call feature on the Pokénav rather, because then I believe, hold on, condition. So you can maybe search here. This is actually my first time looking at this menu, but I believe, yep, you can actually check contest stats from the Pokénav using different filters for which stat you want to, see, which is pretty cool. I do not know what the sparkles mean. I would assume that when they go fully around it, that it is fully maxed out in contest stats. But also some of them have like this pulse pattern. It is really interesting because there's just so many different facets of not only the Gen 3 games, but just Pokemon games in general that I never really understood or fully explored, so it is really cool just to see someone else that did get into that aspect of the game that I didn't. But yeah, I just wanted to look quickly and see the product of like their contest training. As we saw, they had a box specifically designated for it. Now here's what I'm really interested in, is the ribbons, because there are certain ribbons for, say, like purifying a shadow Pokemon and then trading it over, just a bunch of very strange achievements in this game that you wouldn't normally see on just an average save file, but it does look like most of the ones that they have in here, at least the ones that I'm immediately seeing, are either contest ribbons, champion ribbons from the Elite Four, stuff like that you would, most people would get within normal gameplay, which is to be expected. I'm never really been interested in the Ribbon Master quest, but seeing that I could do that with a shiny Metagross sort of has piqued my interest. That shiny hunt is going to be a serious journey though, when I end up eventually starting it. So if you want to see me eventually get that, then you better be in for the long haul, because yeah, resets take 12 minutes, but again, sort of getting off track. Probably the next thing I'm planning on doing is just sort of setting up a party, because as I mentioned before, as we explore for this person's friends' secret bases, then we'll actually be able to fight their friends if they had any, that they ended up exchanging records with. And as we know, they traded with at least 3 people, so hopefully they have exchanged records with a few people that we'll get to see. But real quick, I'm going to search through and see if they have anything in their party with, Fly, if they have anything with all the HMs, so that way I can just sort of make sure that I'm able to traverse the map and just sort of seamlessly go through and do everything. Alright guys, I am back. I've taught all the necessary HMs that I need to in order to sort of get around, and of course I've put my channel mascot at the front of the party. So now that I sort of have a team assembled, I'm going to, the first thing I will do is actually check where my own secret base is. And you can actually do this by going to Mossdeep City. There's a little ninja boy in one of the houses, and he will actually tell you wherever your secret base is located, just in case you forget, which is a pretty nice feature. I do forget which house that is actually in, so okay, that's Stevens. I'm gonna maybe say he's down here. Yep, here he is. So I actually have not made a secret base, or this person has not, rather, Sarah. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and pull up all of the possible secret base locations on Bulbapedia. Well guys, I'm back, and I'm sorry to inform you all that they did not have any secret bases out in their world, and that really is disappointing, because they've traded with quite a few people. You would have thought Sarah would have mixed records at least once with someone who had a secret base, but that was not the case. She also did not make her own. I'm just going to finish the video off right here in her room, where she placed down some dolls and some mats, because she also just didn't have one, and it's kind of sad, because that was a feature I really enjoyed in these games growing up. But sort of the last thing that I'm going to do, just checking out this person's save, is to hatch this egg, see what they had going on, see if they, bred anything cool, and let's see if we maybe even luck out and get a shiny, which almost certainly is not going to happen. But real quick, what is going to be the Pokemon we're going to find to end this off, and what do you know? It's a Dratini. Really can't complain there. Pretty sick Pokemon just to finish off this quick little video on. Wonder if they had any egg moves. Doesn't look like they were that advanced with it, but hey, an Adamant Dratini be pretty sick in a newer game where Dragon's not special. But yeah, anyway, that's going to be pretty much it. I believe there is one thing I can check, and I have already looked at this, but the daycare Pokemon, just see what they had in there. But yeah, after that, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. I want to thank all of you for, sticking around, for just sort of being a part of the channel so far, because it is pretty, cool to just grow on YouTube and show other people things that I would have found cool growing up, or just that I would find cool now if they came across in my recommended. Because, you know, probably pretty obvious, but I'm really passionate about Pokemon and specifically this generation of games, the different things you can do. So it is pretty sick to just sort of reach an audience. You know, I've never really had that before. But yeah, real quick, the very last thing we're going to do in this save is just check out what type of Pokemon they had in the daycare, and what do you know, it's a Larvitar and a Kirlia. Pretty sick Pokemon to finish off on. Larvitar in Gen 3, incredibly rare. Probably Gen 3 Shiny Tyranitar is my favorite Shiny Tyranitar sprite, but it is by far the most difficult game to get a Shiny Tyranitar in. Just because of the rarity of it in Fire Red. There is an easier way to get Pupitar within the Battle Pyramid, and that's something that I may consider doing at some point. But yeah, Adamant Tyranitar from Kylie, of course, the absolute godsend of a friend that they have, who just trades, you know, pretty much anything they want. 2 males in the daycare. Unfortunately didn't, you know, produce an egg for them, but maybe that's not what they were going for. Maybe they were just trying to level both of these up to, you know, get them for the dex, or just to have a Tyranitar and a Gardevoir. But yeah, once again, thank you all for watching, and more content will definitely be on the way. I appreciate all of you for sticking around, and hope you all have a good day.